Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of EcoLead, where we take all that sciencey stuff about our planet and just break them down into bite-sized bits that everyone can apply to their daily lives. And today, we're looking at citizens science, something I believe you would have heard one or two things about before. What is it about? How can you get involved? Discussions around that. That's what we're going to be having today. But today, I'd like to start with the inspiring journey of a spirited 20 years lady named Amina. She lives in the heart of a rural African village, surrounded by lush greenery and rolling hills. And this description, I know, for most people who have either lived somewhere in Africa or visited Africa before, would agree is a common description. Picturesque environments, everything looking beautiful. But something else that fits the description of most of those settlements and villages is access to drinking water. Now, I've lived in a place where we relied largely on rainfall. So we have reservoirs where we collect rainfall, and when it doesn't rain for a while, we then have to resort to buying water from people who have massive storage tanks and then use tankers to buy water from more urban areas. And so back to the story of Amina. The community where she lived mostly relied on a stream, and the stream, like most of those such streams, are contaminated. The contaminated streams they relied on in our community were compromising the community's health, and Amina, deeply connected to her home and its people, felt a growing urgency to make a difference. And so one bright morning, very bright morning, a stroke of luck came their way where fresh university graduates arrived in the village for their national service. And this is something in some parts, specifically in Nigeria, where fresh graduates are deployed to different areas of the country where they are able to carry out community services and things that would benefit the community. I have been involved in something like that before, where we went somewhere very rural, and what we did was to go there with medical supplies and just see how we could help people in this community. So something like that happened in Amina's community, and during their stay, one of the fresh graduates mentioned something about Earth Eco. That's Earth, ECHO, Water Challenge, a global initiative aimed at protecting water resources by energizing citizens in basic monitoring. And so Amina was intrigued by the idea, and so she decided to participate. The challenge was simple yet profound, with just 3 steps: understand, share, and protect. So Amina began with the first step: check. She managed to persuade the graduate to buy and send her a simple test kit, although he took his time to explain that you could just click on one link on the website and you would get full guidance on how to purchase the kits. But Amina was smart at convincing him to send her a pack, and that's what he did. And armed with the curiosity and determination, she headed straight to the nearest stream. The test results revealed alarming levels of contamination, which made her heart sink. She was surprised to realize that her community had been drinking this poison, should I say, for a very long time. So she quickly moved on to the second step, which was to share. So Amina borrowed a smartphone and entered her data online into the international database. She shared her findings and heartfelt story on social media using the hashtag #MonitorWater and tagged the organization at Earth Eco. Her post quickly gained traction, drawing attention and support from citizens all over the world. And then the global community was encouraged, and this whole development now fueled her resolve, which then prompted her into the final step, which is to protect. So, empowered by her test results and the wealth of information she had gathered from both the website and conversations and comments from other people, she organized a village meeting where she shared her findings and educated her fellow villagers about the importance of clean water, how they could together devise plans to start protecting their stream, talking about things like cleaning up the immediate surroundings or planting trees, or one that is very, very dear and important to her is convincing people that open defecation is a bad idea. It's more or less like you drop it here, it circles around into your water, which actually resonated with a lot of people because it's something they could really relate with. That led to some serious behavioral change. And Amina's effort did not go unnoticed. Her village slowly transformed, the water quality improved, And so the health of people in the village, people started feeling a lot healthier. The common symptoms around diarrhea and other things started reducing. And so everybody knew that she had brought about some serious change. So inspired by the success of Amina's community, other neighboring communities began to adopt similar measures, and Amina's story spread like wildfire, international media. And the crux of it is Amina had applied citizen science to bring about significant change. And so, what exactly do we mean by citizen science, and how can you as an individual get involved? The truth is, as much as scientific research is very, very important, it is now going beyond just laboratory and complex experiments. It's beginning to require inputs from the general public, because imagine it this way. If I dedicate myself to sample collection from a particular stream over a period of 1 year, there's just so much I can do as an individual. But if I'm able to replicate that, that would mean me increasing my spatial coverage and even the number of data, depending on the number of people who are willing to get involved. And with a bit of curiosity and some quick observations, anyone can become a citizen scientist. Citizen science is a form of research that uses crowdsourcing knowledge and or data to just drive research. It often involves community data gathering for interpretation and use by researchers who then would bring in some of their expertise and experience into making sense of the data. But the data gathering phase or observation phase can be done by pretty much anybody. We all have valuable lived experience that can inform research, educate others, and even drive meaningful change. It could be what you see on your way to dropping off the kids in school, or picking the kids from school, or on your way to school, or while having fun with your friends in the park. It could just be those simple observations that would bring about some significant change. So if we look at it from that perspective, you would see that most people already use observation in their everyday lives. One great example of citizen science is the citizen-based mosquito monitoring system, where a simple recording of mosquitoes' buzz on a cell phone can contribute to a global scale mosquito tracking map addressing public health crises like malaria and Zika. Worldwide, over 3 billion people are at risk of contracting mosquito-borne infectious diseases. And with a cell phone to record and submit the buzz of a mosquito somewhere or wherever you are, you can contribute to solving this problem. So that's how basic citizen science can be, but you can see that the application can actually result to very significant change. So what exactly does it involve? Well, it depends on the specific project. It could just be a question of observing the world, recording what you see, and submitting the idea, or in some cases going through pre-existing data and logging your findings. Many projects require specialist knowledge in being able to analyze data or some very detailed expertise. All you need would be written or explained neatly in the instruction, and you would be able to just get involved. But I must add that some actually would draw on the expertise, on the experience of individuals. I recall participating recently in the Big River Watch project, where all I did was to locate one of the streams or rivers close to where I live. And I just went there, spent about 15 minutes, and all I did was to go through the questions that were there. And there were things like, what's the color of the water? Is it flowing fast? Is it slow compared to other days? And just basic things like that, that I'm sure then went into informing some more important research in the quality of that river. And so I believe that if you're still here and listening to what I'm saying, it means you are interested to an extent. And the question you might be asking now is, all right, thank you for emphasizing the importance. How can I get involved in? Well, a good starting point is a website called Zooniverse. And I find Zooniverse, mind you, the link to all of these things I've mentioned will be in the description, so you could just click on them and get involved. But I find Zooniverse very interesting because it's like a place where you just come and you find several options that you could get involved in. I'm talking about projects across science, humanities, and several other fields. And all you need to do is to pick what you like to get involved in, and you get full description on how to get involved or what is required. And then you'll also have the opportunity to see if it requires extra skill or some more time that you're willing to give. That would then help you to choose which one you can get involved in. And because I like Zooniverse so much, I'll read a few lines from their website in case you decide not to go there. So it says, the Zooniverse is the world's largest and most popular platform for people-powered research. This research is made possible by volunteers. More than 1 million people around the world who come together to assist professional researchers. Our goal is to enable research that would not be possible or practical otherwise. Zooniverse research results in new discoveries, datasets useful to the wider research community, and many publications. At the Zooniverse, anyone can be a researcher. You do not need any specialist background, training, or expertise to participate in any Zooniverse project. We make it easy for anyone to contribute to real academic research on their own computer at their own convenience. To volunteer with us, just go to the project page, choose one you like the look of, and get started. So, knowing that you have what it takes and where to start, why not choose, like Amina, to become a beacon of hope? Protecting the environment starts with understanding, sharing, and taking sometimes very simple action. So thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep making a difference. Equally, is brought to you by Onoja Simeon. Music is by bensound.com. And please don't forget to check us out on our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and also on YouTube at Equally DR1, where you can see some handy visuals to go along with our chats.